The hardest part about putting out a live album was not performing it. It was listening to it back, because the inner perfectionist would get in the way. And that's the opposite of what we're going for when trying to showcase the live experience, because the live experience is about energy and connection and feeling. And often that aligns with a sense of humanness and imperfection, right? So this is what I did to get the inner perfectionist out of the way when I was analysing last year's gigs to decide on which ones to showcase. So think of perfectionism as a thinking experience. Even though it's tied to the subconscious with all sorts of, unhealthy beliefs and insecurities and stuff like that, it's still a thinking experience where you're analysing and you're judging and all that type of stuff. Whereas emotions and feelings, it's more of a physical experience. So you've got to set the intention to connect with the body. So before I played that rough mix of the Wheatsheaf gig, I went for a run, and I focused on the sensations. And then before I pushed play, I set the intention of receiving it physically, energy, feelings. And anytime I get swept up in my mind, judgments and insecurities, I push stop and then re-anchor myself and come back. Fortunately, I didn't have to do that not once, which says two things. One is that my hack worked, and two, it must have been that good if even my inner perfectionist was like, no, bro, this is awesome. Honestly, I did feel a little bit self-indulgent that I was so moved by what I created there, but I don't think of it as my creation. I feel like it's self-expression. It's something that's channeled through that also involves connection with the audience and the room and where I'm at. And I got to say, I'm proud. I'm so proud of this live album. This is my first ever live album that I've ever released. So for those of you who struggle with the inner perfectionist, that's a little hack. Get into your body. Music, for me personally, music is an emotional experience. It's a physical experience. If I'm following it with my mind, then I'm not connected to it properly. So that's something to also keep in mind before you go on stage, or before you do that performance in the studio, is that you want to be out of your mind and in your body. And there's lots of different ways you can do that.